Let's meet Éowyn's mom and future handler at Butler's Orchard for a fall festival. Of course, I had to stop and look at the beautiful flowers, but here Maddie and Éowyn are walking into Fall Fest. I just love the confidence and optimism as she moves through the world. It makes me so happy. There were a ton of people at Butler's Orchard today, but thankfully it's a huge venue and very spaced out, so it didn't feel overwhelming, but it did mean we queued a lot. So our first queue was by the hay bales, and our second queue was in the grass. But I took this opportunity, of course, to have Maddie and Éowyn do some training games together while we look at all of the craziness going on around us. Just look at these crowds. Thank goodness there was lots of space. The next queue was on a boardwalk, and this was really challenging because if you look closely, you can see that there's corn kernels and even popcorn or other food that had been jammed or fallen through the cracks. Very tempting for puppies. Once we got our food, we went and hung out at some picnic tables, and after eating, of course, I let Éowyn and her mom have a wonderful cuddle together before it was back to some more training games. Because I'm not a monster, but I am a taskmaster. This was a great opportunity to play both look at that and let them look, as we didn't just have kids and other people around, but also other service dogs and even a couple service dogs in training. Plus like a whole petting zoo. It was really quite the big day. Then unsurprisingly, we hit up another queue to get some caramel apples, cause why not? And this was a great opportunity for Éowyn to practice the step up cue, which basically means, hey, we're gonna move but only a couple steps and then stop again. You know, when you're queuing. And you can't hear it with my voiceover, but there was also a really loud ATV that went past right now, and she was great. I couldn't resist asking Maddie and Éowyn to pose with this little photo opportunity sign because it was similar to the one we saw at the last festival. And oh my god, she's getting so big! And then this photo opportunity with a piece of straw just made me laugh. Once we got the caramel apples, it was time to sit with some other picnic tables, and Éowyn did a beautiful tuck under and hydrated. And I really want to brag about Éowyn here because look at all this pizza and other gunk that I just couldn't reach and clean up. And little Miss Ma'am did a beautiful job ignoring all of it and staying in the proper position. We all were getting exhausted at this point, so I had Maddie and Éowyn take another photo opportunity, and then we started to head on back to the car through all of the distractions and crowds. But we got distracted first by having some people ask to get their picture taken. So you know I used that as another training opportunity while Maddie was busy. And then we got distracted by the coolest thing of all, a pumpkin launcher. This is us standing by the fence line somewhat near the pumpkin launcher, and Éowyn looks at it, but then, really unbothered, checks back in with me. Look at this confident girl. This launcher was massive and pretty loud, so the next couple of clips, I'm not gonna speak, I just want you to hear all the ambient noise. That thing's a fucking monster. And meanwhile, Éowyn has found a rock. Éowyn's just like, who cares that there's a giant air compressor thing hurling pumpkins and smashing them into a metal and hay brick wall. She found a dried cornstalk leaf and is having a great freaking time with it. After a lot of play and a lot of adventures, we had a sleepy puppy, so it was time for some final cuddles, and Maddie and I had a bit of a chat just about future plans and making more arrangements for our next service dog meetup adventure. One last hug between mom and puppy before we put her into the car, and she promptly falls asleep even before I hit the road back home.